Ice Cube's tour bus firebombed in Portland. Oh, guess why, guys? Hey, guess who did it? That's right. Antifa did it. Okay, that's right. Antifa firebombed Ice Cube's tour bus. All right, Jesse on Fire, welcome back. So coming out of my my stomach flu, I'm feeling good for the first time in a while, dude. Like, this is a different look than I have had looking at myself in the monitor. Yesterday I was doing my stream and I'm like, why am I so angry? And it's like, because my stomach hurts. Well, I mean, listen, we have plenty of reason to be angry today. Don't get me wrong. We're going to be looking at a college professor who mocked the murder of Charlie Kirk in a private faculty email chain. So don't worry, we're going to take a look at that. We're also going to take a look at a woman who was attacked by Antifa, and JD DeLay brought us that. By the way, go follow JD DeLay. That's my man right there, dude. But yeah, we're gonna take a look at that. But we're actually going to start with some really urgent, scary news, according to this source. But this is actually something I had heard. The reason I'm showing this is because I'd heard a ton of information about this, and it's related to a potential coordinated attack that people have been talking about, where a large group of, like a cell of terror, a terror cell that had come over the border while the border was open is now collectively organizing and then is going to potentially attack in multiple cities all at once. James O'Keefe actually talked about that as well. So we're going to look at that. But that is what we are going to do. And then there's also some new Charlie Kirk stuff. So buckle in. Hope you guys are having a good morning. And we're going to do this thing. Now, if you have not subscribed to my channel yet, that means you're not living up to your end of the bargain. See, look, we just hand shook through the screen. If you can't feel my hand on your hand, that means you should go see a doctor, because it absolutely 100% is gripping your hand right now. And we are looking each other in the eyeballs. And I'm saying, if you're going to watch my content, please subscribe to the channel. And you're like, okay, I will definitely do that. So if you haven't done that, listen, don't be a Destiny fan, because if you were, instead of grabbing my hand, you would be trying to grab my KIRK. You know what I mean? That's what they're into. It never gets old, dude, ever. All right. And everybody else, just go ahead and like the video. I appreciate you guys. And then forward this to people and post it on all your social media and do all these things that'll help me. Help me, for God's sake, man. Just kidding. All right, let's do this thing. Listen to what she said, and then we're going to follow it up with some additional information about this. All right? Check it out.
This isn't being blasted everywhere between creators and the news, but everyone needs to share this. Opening up the southern border and allowing it to go unchecked for years and millions of people coming in that weren't vetted had to be the biggest act of treason in American history, and I'm about to tell you why. Because Al-Qaeda is in this country right now. The National Counterterrorism Center just put out a memo about this to all law enforcement. Over 1,000 highly trained operatives from Al-Qaeda have gotten into this country via the southern border. They have come from training camps all throughout the Middle East, and they are confirmed to be planning a massive multi-city attack. They are also uniformed to be disguised as law enforcement, first responders, and medical employees. These individuals want to obliterate Western civilization, and they can do it because we cannot find them because of our previous open border. We have no idea who they are, but it is confirmed that they are here and planning these attacks. So if you are someone that lives in a major city or work around a major hub, you need to stay off your phone in public, be vigilant, especially around hospitals, police cars, etc. You need to be aware of your surroundings, make sure that your law enforcement is up to date on this information, and be aware of any confirmed or theorized sleeper cells. This is a very, very, very real threat. None of this has been exaggerated. And be aware that the goal of these attacks is mass casualty. Again, I do not say this lightly. I have no idea why nowhere is covering it on the news or on social media. It's literally nowhere. Maybe it's because they don't want to scare people, send people into a panic and shut down the country, but the public deserves to know this information. Again, this is coming from our highest level of intelligence. It has been confirmed, and there's really not much that we can do considering we cannot track these people. Terrorists, please be cautious. I don't know how this isn't being...
Okay, so the reason that this jumped off the page to me is because one of my buddies has been blowing me up about this. And this is the specific video that he sent me and the timestamp. So this is not just like coming out of nowhere. This is a real thing that's happening. Okay, check this out.
Operation. One of those lines right now is the fact that you have Al-Qaeda, Al-Shabaab magazine putting out, information that's been reported that they're saying churches and schools should be attacked. At the same time, you have Iranian Revolutionary Guards who have plans that many intelligence related groups we're looking at right now, where they've got plans to go after first responders and hospitals and other soft targets. You know, at the same time, you've got Antifa riots in the street. So what you're looking at is a blue, green, red alliance. So the blue is the globalists and the technocrats and the deep state. The red is the Marxists and the left, right? And the green is the and both Shiite and Sunni, Al-Qaeda, Persians, Iran, IRGC. So if you imagine, we have a very serious high-level threat right now that they are going to do something, you know, what's possible, right? What intelligence agencies have gamed out is you have an attack on multiple schools and hospitals, and as you dial 911, you know, you have the streets blocked by protesters and whatever, and then the people that come in dressed as first responders, law enforcement, or emergency responders are not real. They are Iranian Revolutionary Guard kill teams that have been in this country that were let in under Joe Biden. Plus you have, you know, 300,000 uniformed members of the Chinese People's Liberation Army with special operations units from China, with hacking teams, with, you know, clandestine covert spy units and so on. So we have a massive national security issue that is. Now,
let me just tell you something real quick. Let's say that this, I mean, what she's saying, they gamed out. So they gamed this out, right? Here's the thing. You want to know why none of this should even be in the conversation is because we should have never obviously had a wide open border. Like, did you guys see those videos last year where they were just parading and they were like every day you had this endless line and it was all military aged Chinese men. And you're like, wait, really? You know, and so they're all at the border and you're like, why are all these men from China coming? It's like, oh, you know, sure. Hey, they're just coming looking for work. It's like, all right, maybe, you know, maybe, right? It's like, there's a reason why you have protection at the border. And at the end of the day, if this ends up happening, if we end up starting to get hit, which seems extraordinarily likely to me because someone's trying to destabilize the country, it seems to me, right? Look, don't anyone ever point a finger at Donald Trump, okay? You point the finger exactly where it belongs, which is the previous administration, and certainly not Joe Biden either, because Joe Biden did not have a brain throughout his entire administration. He was literally sitting there not able to figure out which direction to walk off the stage. You know what I mean? Anyway, I mean, believe me, dude, if it seems like I am in any way like hoping that something like this happens, believe me, I'm not, okay? I have been paralyzed. I've talked about this a million times, okay? The reason that I am so afraid of nuclear terrorism is because I read a book about this in 2005. It was called The Al-Qaeda Connection, and it was about how the real purpose behind the 9/11 thing, it was basically, you know, this was a book where in this book, we used the 9/11 attacks to go and try to track down the Al-Qaeda operatives because we had intelligence that they were going to get, that they were trying to source an Eastern Bloc nuclear weapon that they could smuggle into the United States, and they wanted to hit 7 cities on the same day. Okay. It was the scariest book I've ever read in my entire life because it made so much sense. It was like, Al-Qaeda can win a war against the United States. Like, absolutely they can, if they can get their hands on suitcase nukes. This was all about the suitcase nukes. If you're not familiar with that story, there were 96 missing suitcase nukes from the former Soviet Union. Okay, they are literally suitcases. Like, that is what they are. They were intentionally made to look like luggage so they could be easily, you know, I mean, the whole thing, anybody can build a nuclear weapon. Well, I mean, if you know how to do it and you have the, you know, enriched uranium and you know how to put it all together, you can build it. The delivery system is what mattered, you know? So it's like, all right, you're going to fly a plane over it and drop it. You're going to put it on a missile and, you know, shoot it over there. Or are you going to make it look like, you know, like you're talking like in the 70s, are you going to make it look like a suitcase and someone just brings it onto an airplane and then you fly it wherever you're going to go and then you leave it wherever it's going to go and then you detonate it. You know what I mean? And so they were like, they had a lot of them and they had no idea. There were 96 missing suitcase nukes. Okay. If you think that's made up, I'll show you. Okay. So here you go. In 1997, on a CBS 60 Minutes interview, Alexander Lebed, then former secretary of the Russian Security Council, asserted that Russia had lost control over 100 suitcase-sized nuclear weapons. Okay? And when they asked him, they're like, what do you mean suitcase size? He's like, they're a suitcase. He's like, they're literally a suitcase. They're bombs that are transported inside of a suitcase. Okay? Terrifying. Terrifying. And we just let in how many million people over the last however long knowing that we have the globalists who are trying to destroy the United States. Okay, we're going to keep on coming back to this. But we're going to move on for today because I am actually having an anxiety attack internally even talking about this. So we're going to go ahead and move on. Okay, now I want to show you guys this, and then we're going to get to the O'Keefe Media stuff about the, the gem, the real gem of a professor who is making fun of Charlie Kirk's death. All right, check this out.
This is Katie Davis Court, and Antifa did this to her at the same riot that I was at shortly after we left. And the police in Portland are refusing to arrest the suspect. I say suspect very lightly because we know exactly who it is. It's this woman right here. They've already identified her. They gave the police that information, and the Portland police don't really care. Immediately after she was beaten in the face with a flagpole by that creature, her and her security chased the suspect down. They called the police and waited for 35 minutes, and the police just said, "You're burnt." Because in Portland, they care more about the safety and the rights of domestic terrorists who assault people than they do professional journalists. A lot of people are going to try to tell you that Antifa is just an ideology, not an organization. I can tell you from firsthand experience, going down there myself, documenting it, putting a full-length video up if you want to go check it out. These are an organized domestic terrorist organization. The city of Portland is absolutely supporting them and their lawlessness against law-abiding citizens in their city. And
I don't even understand it. Like, why? Why? Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't get it. Why? Why? Why do they have the support of the government? Okay. How is anyone who lives in that city down with these psychos running around the streets and attacking journalists and attacking people? They're just like, yeah, no, that's fine because the people they're attacking might disagree with me politically. You're all okay, but do you like driving through your city and having these rabid lunatics like throwing things at people and attacking people? I don't understand. Okay, none of this makes any sense to me. I don't get it. But now let's go to the main event. All right. So leaked university emails. Professor at Curry College mocked the murder of Charlie Kirk in private faculty email chains, calling him a, quote, Nazi and a bigot, saying Charlie Kirk approved of the way Charlie Kirk was killed. Quote, I was ashamed that our college lowered our flags to half-mast for a bigot. Wow. Well, he's going to wish he didn't do that. Quote, many better people have been assassinated with no recognition. We are being gaslit in this country to make Charlie Kirk into some national hero. Okay. We're going to read exactly what he said.
O'Keefe Media has obtained leaked emails from Curry College revealing professors using official faculty email lists to call Charlie Kirk a Nazi, fascist, Christian, nationalist, and writing that he, quote, approved of his own killing. After the murder of Charlie Kirk, Curry College put out a mass email to all members of the university, including students, acknowledging there have been heavy events in the first 2 weeks of September, alluding to Charlie and 9/11. But in the leaked emails, Vice President Eric Morisep invited faculty to share feedback on the campus-wide message. Professors responded with anger and disappointment that Curry College acknowledged Kirk's death. Senior lecturer and professor Benjamin Chicka wrote, quote, Charlie Kirk approved of the way Charlie Kirk was killed, and that he was, quote, ashamed that our college lowered our flags to half-mast for a bigot. Chicka went on, saying, quote, many better people have been assassinated with no recognition. Professor Janet Ferrone in the email chain goes on to agree with her colleague Benjamin Chicka, stating, quote, while I agree that a mass email is a hard place for a debate, I am writing because I definitely agree with what Benjamin said, as I feel like we are being gaslit in this country to make Charlie Kirk into some national hero. At OMG, we are shining a light on what people behind the scenes are saying. This is not just a debate about free speech, it's about normalizing political violence and exposing the evil of these sorts of professors and faculty and staff that think it's good to assassinate people because of their beliefs. If you have more, reach out to us.
Yeah. These people just are, you want to know honestly what it is? They're so irresponsible. Like this guy, okay? You are so irresponsible, man. You are the one tap dancing on the grave of a person who was just murdered in front of everybody and you don't even know what he actually said or believed, okay? So you're an uninformed danger to the country. Dear Curry students, today carries a heavy mix of emotions and feelings with our community around the nation. We are grappling with a horrific incident on a college campus in Utah. Another horrific incident on another school shooting in Colorado on the 24th on the 9/11. Each bringing its own weight and impact on us. With so much happening in our society and culture, it is natural to feel a wide range of responses: sadness, anger, worry, confusion, and simply numbness. In times like this, it is important for us and as a community to come together, talk, listen, and then so he responded to that. He responded to that.
O'Keefe meeting.
He responded to that with that. That's amazing, dude. And then he's okay. So senior lecturer and professor, she responded to the email calling Kirk a fascist Christian nationalist. Hi, Eric. Since I have not seen or heard anyone else speak up, I will. I do have questions about why you would refer to the death of a fascist Christian nationalist, rather recently known as Nazis during World War II, as horrific when you did not send similar emails in response to mass shootings of minorities. Oh my God, I can't, dude. I fucking can't. I can't. In response to my minorities, many students on our campus, that he actively encouraged his followers to attack. That's hilarious, and that's not fucking true. Okay, you and I may not approve of the way Charlie Kirk was killed, but Charlie Kirk approved of the way that Charlie Kirk was killed. I was ashamed that our college lowered our flags to half-mast for a bigot. Many better people have gotten assassinated with no recognition. Kirk was not a defender of free speech. He just whined like a baby when political opponents pointed out that he lied about minorities. There is no greater hypocrite than a bigot who complains about free speech while shutting down free speech. Shut the... This article in The Nation sums it up, because other than the caveat that nobody should be killed, nothing about his life deserves mourning. As the author Elizabeth Spires correctly notes, Kirk was fine with murder as long as the right people were dying. God, these people, you cannot say this shit. You repulsive garbage pail kids. You are a fucking joke. None of you do even 1% research. Find the clip, dude. Don't listen to the rest of your fucking numbskulls who just lie all day, every day about it. I can't, dude. Instead of listening to NPR analysts bend over backwards to treat this as another normal tragedy, I encourage you all to read the longer obituary of who Kirk really was in his life. How about, oh man, I was about to say something nasty right there. Not all deaths are equal, and if we can do better than both sidesism here, this college is doomed. If we can't do better, if we can do no better than both sidesism, I expect better of our administration and their staff. Benjamin Schicka. Hey, say goodbye to your fucking job, shitbag. Man, I can't. I can't, dude. I literally can't. Yeah, so it's this guy. Hey, dude, guess what? I can tell that you know what a penis tastes like. I don't care. Okay? That doesn't give you carte blanche to go in half-cocked with absolutely no real research done and then lie about a good man who just got murdered, okay? Whether you knew it or not, you're lying. You're a fucking idiot, okay? And you deserve all of the shit that is going to blow up in your face right now. You deserve this, okay? God, man, it's just absolutely infuriating. Oh, by the way, in case you guys didn't hear about this little number right here, Ice Cube got his tour bus blown up by Antifa. Okay, look at this. Okay, Ice Cube's tour bus firebombed in Portland. Oh, guess why, guys? Hey, guess who did it? That's right, Antifa did it. Okay, that's right. Antifa firebombed Ice Cube's tour bus. Okay. And yes, they did it because they thought it was an ICE immigration bus. They're that stupid. They're the biggest morons on earth. Okay. Now we're going to close this out with one more word from Candace Owens also. Check this out.
Right. Don't feel hopeless. Understand they're actually panicking right now. What can you do in your household? Well, the first you can do is do not put your children in their matrix. Take your kids out of school. These sleeper cells are all across the nation. Okay. And we're going to get into this next week. I wanted to make sure that I could get more thorough and show to you the Ukraine.
Listen, my buddy just sent me that. I honestly didn't even know what was going to be on there. What I can tell you is that based on the shit that these people put in mass emails, I don't even know if they're even sleeper cells. They might just be overt cells. They're like, yeah, Charlie Kirk, blah, 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 blah. I just can't, dude. Man, I am done playing nice. I mean, I guess I haven't been playing nice for a while, but I'm really done playing nice now. That email just literally, like, I just can't, dude. I literally can't.